So, I heard there's punching in the game, and I've been waiting since launch. And since I only played Monk and I wanted to punch, that was the next best thing. But now I heard they added punching and a new act. So, other than that, I don't know anything. So we'll figure it out from here. We're gonna watch this.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers from Grinding Gear Games.
Do you want
and
subs on?
welcome
I don't
to
know.
GGG Live.
Nah, we'll leave it
Today we're going to show you an exclusive reveal of what's coming next for Path of Exile 2.
Next week,
Twitch
right?
drops are enabled on today's live stream, so you'll be able to claim your Sun Priest's Incineration rare finisher effect by following the instructions below. Now with that out of the way, let's get started.
I was not there.
It's time to give you a teaser of what's coming in Path of Exile 2, the Third Edict.
Edict. Okay. I forgot to change my thing.
Karui! I have called you here to save our people. To save our way. Over the ages, we have known pain like no other. But we endured. And we became mighty.
Mighty. Why does it remind me of that Path Diablo 4?
On our shores, and we have stood by.
They're using the both tribal stuff.
Hear my voice, ancestors. Show us your strength. Show us the true way.
Show us the way. Do you know the way? Is that meme, right? I don't know. Every time I hear that. Oh! Is that a new class? Oh! Wait, he went Zealot! He went like Zealot and went like ta 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 ta. Oh, that looks cool. Wait, giant monkey. Yo, go Zealot mode.
Makoi will rise.
Rise. Erect. Act 4. Interlude acts. 35 areas. Wow, okay. 24 bosses. Oh, they're overhauling the whole gem system? Skill 2? Yo, it's kind of loud. Sorry. And 150 nodes, right? I'm ready to punch. Somewhere. Introducing punching. New class, right? Is it a new class? Oh no, it's like an in-game mode. It's like a horde mode? Is it roguelike? What was that? Yo, new season incoming, guys. It looks exciting, I'm not gonna lie. Oh wow, okay. August 29th? Wait.
Now, as
That's
you can
near
see,
Enfield.
there's a lot going on.
It's near Oxide
today.
Enfield.
We'll start by going over Act 4, the next chapter in the Path of Exile 2 storyline. But that's not all.
I might have to make
There's also
29th
3
off.
new interlude acts to get you to endgame, which means we're removing cruel difficulty
That's
too.
Friday.
After that, we'll be going through the massive changes to characters.
They're removing
I'm super excited to
altogether?
show you how I've overhauled the entire support gem system, added new skills, and yes, there are buffs. Next, we'll go over the Rise of the Abyssal. This season's exclusive
League
mechanic,
mechanics.
and talk about the new rewards, crafting systems, areas, and bosses that it adds. After that, it's on to changes we're making to the endgame. Then it's time to talk about items, crafting, and oh yeah, trade. That's going to be a big one.
Oh, trade.
We'll then go over our new supporter packs and finish up with a live Q&A session where Ziggy D will ask Path of Exile 2's game directors, myself and Mark, your questions
They're changing
from Twitch
it,
chat.
so let's see how that goes.
And after that, at 4 p.m. Pacific, hatch notes. They're not
Wait,
quite
it's
complete,
4
but they should give you some nice details to
It's
chew
4
on.
p.m. already. Wait, we gotta watch. We gotta look at the path.
We've got a lot to cover today. But
It's 5
first,
right now.
another announcement. When the Third
watching
Edict
this hella late.
launches on the 29th, we'll be having a free weekend for Path of Exile 2.
Free weekend.
That's right. Path of Exile 2 will be free for the first time without requiring an early access key. The free weekend will end on September the 1st.
I mean, I already have.
so you'll
We already
plenty
have
of
the
time
game,
to give
right?
the game a
So-
try. All right, Let's get started with Act 4. The story continues from the end of Act 3.
Damn, but Arc-Knight Enfield dropping on the
Doyani has agreed to
30th.
help you find an ancient weapon that can be used against corruption, the instrument of the Third Edict. The weapon was broken in ages past, but he believes that the pieces may be found in the Karui Archipelago, the home of the Karui tribes. You will need to journey to Kingsmarch,
I'm also busy on the 29th.
hire a ship, and set sail.
Crap.
When you open the map, you can choose to sail anywhere you
I
like.
might have to take PTO.
Act 4 is completely non-linear, and
Like
you
a
can visit the
place
islands in
in
any
the
order you
morning.
choose. Will you visit the pristine beaches of Whakapanu Island? The Karui whisper of a curse that afflicts all who travel there. Perhaps it's related to the
Damn,
weapon you
I
seek.
might have to take PTO. I have to send a PTO request.
Or maybe you will visit the volcanic
I wanna
shores
take-
of the Isle of
take
Kin.
$29.
The Kin have been more restless recently, mining for sulfite and driven by some dark force. Perhaps you will choose to consult with one of the local Karui tribes. Their ancient wisdom could hold clues to finding the Third Edict.
So they're also doing
No matter
tribal
where you
stuff
choose to
here.
go, you will fight dangerous beasts,
Like in D4 DLC.
find fabulous treasures,
But it's gonna be better, right? Yo, a treasure? In
and
some
battle
ship?
incredible bosses.
A challenger!
Oh, giant monkey.
Come, Yama sees your soul!
There are 8 islands to discover, each
The
teeming
Wukong.
with its own flora and fauna. Act 4 contains over 100 new monster types, 16 new areas,
100 new
12
monster
bosses,
types?
and plenty of other interesting encounters.
Oh my
There's
god.
a huge amount to show, but we're not going to spoil too much
Um,
here. We want to give you a chance to discover it all for yourself.
Is that TOS?
What happens after Act 4?
But it's in the game,
Well,
right?
Until now, you had to repeat the entire campaign again before you could face the endgame. But after adding Act 4,
I don't know
the
if you
game is
saw
far too
Booba,
long to
but-
make you do that.
I saw
We needed
Booba.
something else to do in between the end of Act 4 and the endgame. So what else could we do? Add 3 new mini-acts, of course, and we're calling them
Mini-acts?
the
Oh.
interludes. The interludes
Yeah,
are
I
a
mean,
set of
I
3
didn't
temporary
like doing
side
crew
stories that will be
difficulty,
included
so
in the
this is
game until
better.
Act 5 is released. That will take you to level 65 where the endgame can begin.
Nice. Mini loots.
The first interlude sends you on a journey back to Ogham. Renly has been leading the efforts to rebuild Ogham Village after the defeat of Count Geonor, but there's a new danger afoot. The nearby town of Holton is surrounded by an impenetrable darkness, and each night their corrupted townfolk emerge to raid the local farmlands.
Zombies. It's like Night of the Living
You'll
Zombies.
discover new areas. And new bosses.
Oh.
You'll need to find your way through the darkness, uncover the source of corruption,
Soon
Dance.
you will serve our
It's
master.
Phantom of the
defeated.
Opera.
Yes, I shall dance with that corpse.
and that's just the first interlude.
That's boring if you dance with a corpse, man. They
The
don't-
second interlude will have you return to the Vasteri Desert, where Asala has been given a sacred duty. When the skies align, the gifting of water requires a chosen Sekima to meet with the
Mini-lude.
Selkari,
I
guardians
wonder
of
if
the
these will be
sacred
released
water.
as side
But
stories
they're
when
nowhere to
the,
be found.
when the
You will
full
need to
game
track
is
down the
released.
Selkari.
Like, so they don't waste the content
those
here. They can
responsible
move
for
it as a
disrupting the
side
gifting.
quests in the area.
Fight even
And then
more new
make
bosses.
Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3 bigger.
Discover the secrets of the
Yeah.
ancient ritual. Discover new locations.
Because I think doing mini
And
loots in
ultimately
every
help
act,
Asala
right?
carry out her
So
sacred
they could
duty.
just merge this into the regular
Now
act
for
when the
interlude
game
3.
when the game fully releases.
As royal thaumaturge
Yeah.
of the Val, Doyani had plans within plans to save his people from the cataclysm
It makes sense.
perpetuated by its Ares' lust for power. One such plan involved sealing a group of willing Val deep in a great mountain vault near the home of the Asmeri, deep enough to survive the cataclysm. Even though thousands of years have passed, he believes that their descendants may still live, and may be key to defeating the beast. The journey up the mountain will be dangerous.
Up the mountain
New
here.
foes stand in your way,
Oh, yo,
and the
Frozen
further up
Eagle.
the mountain you venture, the colder it will become.
Whoa, what kind of move is that? I don't remember a
Explore
move like that
caves of
that
ice.
summons an X.
And enter the vault itself. Who can
Well,
say
I don't
what
play
you
that
will
class,
find
so
within?
maybe that's why.
The
too.
interludes are 6 to 7 areas each, and generally include 4 boss fights as well.
Okay.
When you put that together with Act 4, that adds up to 35 new areas in the campaign and 24 new
4
bosses.
bosses for each interlude.
It's worth making clear that the interludes are temporary. When Act 5 and 6 are added, the interludes will be going away.
Are they gonna merge?
These are side stories after all.
Yeah, side
But don't
stories.
worry, the bosses and areas that make up the interlude are all part of the endgame. We're not just going to
Okay.
throw them away.
Okay.
And with that, we don't
They
need
mentioned
cruel
that,
difficulty
okay.
anymore. We do know that it was a pretty big chore to have to play through the campaign multiple times on each character, and this was a huge reason that
Did
the
they
campaign
only
could
play
feel
one?
like a bit of a
Well,
slog when
technically, I
playing
played
through
3
again.
monks, so.
But we do also have another new feature to address that particular concern as well. So let's talk about sprinting.
We can run now?
In 030, when you hold down the dodge roll button, your character will go into a sprint after they finish the roll. This is available on all character classes, and there's no limitation on how long you can sprint for.
Nice.
The primary purpose of this feature is to make navigating areas faster when out of combat. Because of that, if you do take a hit while sprinting, you'll fall to the ground.
Damn,
The
that's
best
a
idea
long
is to use
fall
a skill
time,
when
though.
you see monsters. That'll break you out of the sprint so
Yeah.
you can engage with
Okay.
no danger. If you do need to run away from monsters, just hold spacebar. You won't be vulnerable during the roll, and you're faster while sprinting than basically any monster in the game, allowing you to retreat from combat.
Nice.
Sprint is a pretty significant change to PoE 2's gameplay.
I
What
like
I like
it, I
most
like it.
about it is that we can accelerate the pace of the game for those who want that, without having to compromise on
Supersonic.
PoE 2's more visceral combat systems. Okay, so that's the new extensions to the campaign, but there's a whole giant league to play through as well. I'll leave that to Mark to talk about later. And that's because what I want to talk about now is the new stuff for your characters. And probably one of
Punching.
the biggest new systems here is with the support gems.
Alright, what are they changing
Now,
here?
support gems are one of the most interesting elements to creating a build. They're what enables so many interesting mechanics and different ways to play. But PoE 2's support gem system has just never been quite right. One of the major issues is the limitation of only having one support gem of each type on your character.
Yeah.
We didn't want builds to just become using the same 5 most powerful supports in every skill.
Just make it that.
The problem with this design, though, is that it's actually working against using multiple skills in your build. If you can only use each support gem on one skill, it means that you're encouraged to go all in on that one ability. And we
Yeah.
want to encourage you to combo your abilities,
That
something
happens.
needed to change. So with that in mind, we've removed the restriction of having one of each support gem per character.
Oh?
You can now use as many copies as you like.
Oh? Okay.
This should drastically increase the amount of possible builds and increase the amount of skill diversity.
Just combo and do combo and do
There are
combo.
a lot of potential builds that suffered from the previous restriction. For example, a poison build previously couldn't add poison to more than one skill. They couldn't use stacking poison on more than one skill either. This severely limited your ability to combo with anything outside of the specifically designed poison archetype, but now you can.
Nice,
Many
nice.
utility skills previously couldn't scale to endgame, because the supports that would make them scale were more useful to use on other skills. You would never speed up killing Palm with martial tempo, when you would much rather use it on your primary skill instead. There
Yeah.
are more examples like this all over the place. In addition to that, though, we thought there wasn't enough feeling of progression in the supports as you went through the game. There were only 3 tiers of supports, and many of the most
Now
important
adding
ones were
more?
given out at tier 1. Also, there were no strict upgrades, meaning that upgrading supports when you ran out of sockets required quite a lot of thinking. In order to solve these issues, we now also have
Oh.
multiple levels of many supports as you go through the
Okay.
game.
1 and 2.
For example, double barrel support gives you an extra bolt, but at the cost of 30% less reload speed. At tier 2, the penalty gets lowered to 20%. But then at tier 3, the support gem gets something new. It now reloads automatically when you heavy stun an enemy.
What if they make this RNG?
In some cases, the highest tiers
Like
might
the
work a
gem
little
could
differently.
have a
You'll
new
have to decide
affix
if you like the upgrade or
for that
not,
third
depending on
one?
your build. For example, rapid casting.
Make it random.
The first couple of levels gives
That'd be
15,
crazy,
then
huh?
20% increased cast speed.
Maybe
But
at a
then at
future
tier
patch.
3, it changes to a new approach. For each different spell you cast in the last 8 seconds, you get 10% increased cast speed, which could be a pretty big bonus if you use a lot of different spells.
Like, is it attack speed
So
or
that's pretty
attack
good for
buff or
upgrades through the
something
campaign,
else?
but we wanted to add a little more spice to the endgame for supports too. And that's where our new system, Lineage Supports, comes in.
Lineage sport.
You can think of these like unique items, but for supports. There are supports that are only available at endgame, but they're much more powerful. Like Ratha's Assault. It's an upgraded version of Double Barrel that reloads your skill as you dodge roll, as well
Oh.
as increasing the number of bolts
It's
it
like
can
a
hold.
unique. It's
But
like
it
a
does mean
unique
that it's the only way you
support
can
gem.
reload the skill now. Now, unlike regular supports, you can't find these through the uncut support gem. Just like unique items, many of these can be found from specific bosses.
So they have unique gems now.
And there's a ton in the regular drop pool too.
Gain a wind shard.
Some of them are fairly rare.
I need to read some of these, man.
Others fairly common.
Or I can just be like, oh shoot, I found it, and be like,
Some
oh
of them
damn.
are build defining.
Totems.
Others are just straight up power upgrades. All in all, there's around 40 lineage supports being added throughout the endgame.
Okay.
So there's a lot of power to find out there. Now, The new support gems are certainly going to open up a lot of builds, but of course we have a huge range of improvements to individual character classes as well.
Monk, I'm waiting.
As well as adding
Let's
new
go.
skills, we had a big focus on buffing existing skills so that they can scale well into the endgame.
Now we can punch.
There's a huge amount to cover here,
Punch.
so we're not going to discuss everything. We're just going to quick fire through some of the coolest changes.
I'm just gonna concentrate on the
We wanted to
monster.
make cold a more useful
Later.
element on the Ranger, so we've expanded the cold tools available. As well as increasing its range,
Escape
Escape
shot?
Shot now creates fragments of ice whenever it hits the ground. These fragments explode after a short time, making the skill better for killing groups of
Or
enemies.
is that more of a notable trait?
But not only that, we added an ice fragment support that creates more of them when killing frozen enemies. And a new buff skill called Ice-Tipped Arrows that allows all your arrows to create ice fragments.
All the arrows.
This already gives clear to rangers wanting to use ice. But to take further advantage of the ice fragments, Freezing Salvo has been upgraded to shoot additional cold arrows towards every fragment, giving you a nuke-like ability. We've also modified Snipe to consume frozen from enemies, dealing a huge amount more damage, giving you a nice ice single target option. And something you might notice about this is that the bonus is a lot higher against bosses. This is actually a change you'll see throughout the entire game. Since it's a
Damn.
lot harder to freeze a boss, you should get a bigger reward for it.
Okay.
Another thing
I
you'll
see.
see throughout the game is making movement feel better. Toxic Growth is a skill that was pretty cool, but a bit annoying to use with the jump that it had. Now Toxic Growth is a range skill, so you can spam it more easily.
Oh, the range skill.
And we've also added a new poison skill while we were at it.
Oh,
called
you can move
Toxic Domain.
faster in
It creates a
poison now?
small area around you that makes all your attacks create toxic growth pustules, but attached to monsters.
How come it looks like it moves so fast?
Another skill that was annoying to use was Electrocuting Arrow. It's now just a regular arrow, making it easier to use. But it also means you can support it with projectile supports. And it now also has Area of Effect, making it a tool for more
Everything
than
is
just single target,
projectile now for
and
the
allowing
Ranger,
it to
right?
scale
Makes
into the
sense.
endgame. We also added a new spirit reservation called Mirage Archer. This is a meta skill that allows you to create shadowy clones of yourself to use a skill of your choice.
You could be like Monkey King.
Of course, one of the other big problems the Ranger had was survivability. Evasion was the weakest of the three defenses, and we wanted to change that.
Oh,
Currently, evasion doesn't evade all types of hits in the game, so you're still vulnerable to things like slams or unblockable attacks.
but
To make evasion characters more tanky, we're adding a new mechanic called Deflect.
deflect.
Unlike evasion, Deflect works on everything, and if you successfully deflect a hit, you take 40% less damage.
Wait.
Items can now give you a mod that gives you some amount of deflection based on your evasion,
Oh, based on evasion.
and there's a bunch of it available on the
Interesting.
passive tree too. Deflection is rolled in addition to evasion, so this is an upgrade for regular hits too. And unlike evasion, there's no maximum chance. You can reach 100% deflect against all hits if you spec into it enough.
And you get 40%.
Of course, this is a
damage
buff that
reduction.
helps all Dex characters, so the Mercenary and
Yeah.
the Monk, but especially
Monk.
the Huntress are seeing big defense boosts from this as well.
Yo, we go defense monk now. You can
Speaking
actually
of
go
defensive
full
mechanics,
defense monk.
let's talk about block and parry. Now, one of the big concerns on the release of the Huntress was parry
Yeah,
feeling
with OP.
unreliable. One of the big reasons for this
Movie.
is there's a lot of hits that are not blockable, and thus not
Oh.
parryable either. So a
Movie was
huge balance
Phantom
change we're
Opera.
making is that now everything is blockable, except for specifically unblockable red flash skills that bosses use.
Oh, everything's blockable except for okay.
This makes parry much more reliable. And not only that, but to
Except
make
for
block
super
and
red-
parry nicer to
red skills.
use, you now also move faster than before while using these abilities. This is a massive buff to passive block as well. So to counter that, we did have to lower the max passive block a bit, but overall you should feel much safer. Fire skills on the warrior were not really cutting the mustard, so we decided we needed to upgrade a bunch of them, but
We're gonna
also
talk
add
about
some more
punching
as well.
skills, right? How
Let's start
they
with a
were
buff.
bad, now they're gonna make it
Volcanic
better.
fish are now branches into multiple fishes, giving it much more
We're not even
tank
at
potential.
monk yet. I'm talking about it. Okay.
We've also added a new skill called Forge Hammer. This skill throws a molten hammer that does a
Oh,
slam
you
at a
become
distance.
Thor.
You can recall the hammer back by using the skill again if you
Yo,
like.
you become
But the
Thor
cooler thing
with
to do
this.
is to use a Warcry near it. Using a Warcry makes the hammer explode, making a bunch of volcanic fishes around.
Damn.
Volcanic fishes re-trigger when you slam them, so it's a great skill to
Phantom
make a
Opera.
flaming arena to fight a boss. We also buffed Perfect Strike to have a much larger area of effect, and changed Molten Blast to not always force you to move forward. Trust me, it feels a lot better to use now. The skill now has massively boosted chance to ignite monsters as well.
Nice.
And you're going to want to ignite monsters due to a new glory skill called Ancestral Cry. Ancestral Cry
ignited.
charges up with glory by igniting monsters, invoking King Kaum's favor. After you do, use it to channel Kaum's
Oh
ancestral
my God.
power. Every attack will be ancestrally boosted with fire. Your
What
very
the hell?
steps will
That's-
explode,
that's
triggering volcanic
freaking
fissures.
a lot
and
of
molten
fire
balls will
everywhere.
erupt from your attacks. Warrior shield skills were another area we wanted to improve. Now that we've got sprint, we actually don't need to have a cooldown on shield charge anymore. And now also
yeah.
there's more damage the further away you are when you use
Oh,
it.
you can spam shield charge all the time now, since everyone can sprint anyways.
Shield wall got significantly upgraded AoE.
It's bigger.
Also, you can shield charge right through it to trigger all the walls.
Wow.
We also added a new shield war cry. Fortifying Cry gives you a defensive buff, but it also builds up charge on your shield that empowers your other shield skills.
I forgot how
And
to play
Magma
this
Barrier
game.
now doesn't require timing in order to use. Just wait for your shield to charge up
When we
and
played the
block.
first 2 seasons, and then kind of forgot.
Seismic Cry now stuns enemies that are primed for stun. And we changed the Sunder interaction with Armor Break. It now also gives a Sundered Armor debuff that makes enemies take 40% extra physical damage. Great
Okay,
for
okay.
bosses. Ancestral Warrior Totem has undergone some pretty significant changes too.
Oh yeah, I was
We
using
wanted the
totem
skill to feel more like
unarmed.
using an ultimate. That summoning an ancestor to fight for you was a big deal. So
Well,
we've
let's
changed
see,
this totem
let's
to
see what-
require 3 endurance charge to summon, and massively buffed its damage.
Yeah, you've been playing that.
It also now scales your weapon damage too. Since there's no limit anymore, if you build around generating endurance charges, you can summon an entire forest of totems.
Holy moly!
In order to make that easier, we added some new sources of endurance charges. There's now a support to make perfect strike
Back down
generic
the opera.
charges, and a support for generating endurance charges from heavy stuns as well. Speaking of totems, we wanted to upgrade
Oh.
the Warbringer. Among the other changes we've made to this class, Answered Call now gives an extra
Are they
totem,
adding a
and the
third,
spirits have just been generally
class?
buffed in many ways.
Are they adding
Use it
third
with your
classes?
limitless ancestral warrior forest
For,
to
like,
make an
existing
army of
characters,
Kurui
maybe?
that would make Tukahama proud.
No, it's the old movie.
We've also merged the Great Wolf Howl and Warcaller's Bellow support, so that you can get all the benefits with 1 point. And Encased
Let's
in
see,
Jade
we'll
no
see.
longer removes the Jade when getting hit, making it a much better defense. Next up, let's talk about accuracy. Accuracy was always intended to be something that warriors didn't need to care about very much so long as they're in close combat. But unfortunately, that's not currently the case. This was particularly annoying with skills like Bone Shatter, which you certainly don't want to mess with. So we significantly buffed your chance to hit at close ranges when you don't have much accuracy.
Okay,
Warriors shouldn't
interesting.
require any accuracy investment in order to hit with close range attacks now.
Accuracy, huh?
We also wanted to improve armor. Now, one of the major weaknesses of armor
yeah,
is the inability
armor.
to defend against elemental damage. In order to mitigate this, we're adding a lot more of the stat that allows your armor to defend against elemental damage. It's now available on items and in a lot more places on the passive tree.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
One of the most important improvements we've made in 030 is to declunk the action and flow of
So
shooting
this
crossbows.
buffing everything else
You can
while
now
keeping
reload
energy
crossbows
shield
without
OP,
any
right?
movement penalty. But not only that, all skills that can be used while moving now slow you for a shorter amount of time. This change benefits everyone, not just crossbow skills.
Oh,
With both of these changes put together, the
You can
run
run
and
and
gun
gun?
playstyle feels much better.
got pew, pew, pew,
It's hard
pew,
to
pew.
explain how important this change is for the feel of the class. The Mercenary is also a good chance to talk about how we're rebalancing to make comboing skills much better.
Combo.
Take Shock, for example. It buffs damage and lasts 4 seconds right now, but that isn't really giving you enough time to take advantage of it.
This used to be
If
next
you're going
hit.
to add a lightning skill into a build that otherwise wouldn't use one, we need to make mechanics like this much better. So we've increased
Maybe.
shock duration on monsters to last 8 seconds.
Okay, 8 seconds. It did double duration, that's fine.
And skills like Plasma Blast, which are intended to be good at shocking enemies, now increase the damage bonus by a lot more. You'll find changes like this all around the game. Chill now lasts 8 seconds, giving you more of a reason to
okay,
weave
so
in
they,
cold
they
damage.
increased the CC
Freezing
and
skills
stuff.
are better at freezing. Burning skills need to cause burns that last longer. But making skills like Permafrost Bolts and Incendiary Shot double down on how they're supposed to be used, it makes using them in your build alongside other skills much more likely. We're also making sure to buff specific combos too. The freeze explosions
Okay.
from frag rounds now chain to nearby enemies.
What about the support gems that happen on freeze?
And using high velocity rounds with armor break will now fragment
It's
the
still
opponent's
like
armor.
nerfed, right?
This causes monsters to take a portion of high velocity rounds damage with every subsequent hit, even tiny pellets. So that means following it with a shotgun blast is way more effective.
No.
Now there's a lot more buffs to crossbow skills, but for now I'm just going to talk about the new one we added, the Mortar Cannon. This one lets you
Cannon.
socket any grenade skill. and using it will summon a cannon which loads and then fires the grenade you choose.
Oh, nice. That looks cool.
Another issue on the Mercenary were banners. They were just not very good, so we're doing a big upgrade to them. They now
Bigger
last
AoE?
longer, don't disappear when moving out of them, and we removed the Valor mechanic. They now just give a much more consistent and stronger buff,
Just a
and you
buff?
can use them
Okay.
when you get enough glory. On which, one of the main focuses was making various minion types more useful to use together. Melee minions in particular were just not that great compared to ranged ones. As a
Yeah.
starting point, we just straight up removed the requirement for minions to have accuracy.
Nice.
Attack minions now
It
always
is.
hit, which makes them way better. Brutes got some good numeric buffs, but we also added a new command skill where they do a war cry that intimidates enemies and detonates any frozen monsters and allies around you in a big cold explosion.
Damn. Okay.
We've also changed the Frost Mage's command skill to an ability that adds ice armor to your other minions, adding a layer of defense. And it makes them
Nice.
deal cold damage back to the attacker as well. The ice armor also makes the minion count as frozen, so the Brute's war cry can detonate them too.
Wow.
Unearth was changed to work on corpses of your dead skeletons, allowing you to summon the minions more easily in boss fights.
Ah, so you can summon against your own dead minions.
And they also got a new jump
It's
ability,
like, it's
allowing
pretty
you
much
to
like
get to combat
reanimate,
faster.
right?
Ray's Spectre was also feeling pretty weak for the spirit cost they have. To be honest, we were a little afraid of these when we first balanced them. We've both decreased the spirit cost for a large range of monsters, and have significantly increased Spectre damage too. They should feel a lot more impactful.
Pew 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 pew. It's Pokemon.
There's also a lot of new spellcaster weapons with newer cult skills. But I'll just talk about one of them that I thought was particularly cool.
Do they
The
have? Are
Reaping
they?
Staff
It
is
says they have
actually a
punching in the
wicked
game.
scythe
Are they adding?
that gives you a new ability
gauntlets?
called Reap. When an enemy is low in life, you can dash forward and rake enemies with the scythe to cull them instantly, healing you. It can also inflict critical weakness on enemies too.
Or it's still
Now,
quarter
there's a lot of
staff.
balance changes in the Witch's Ascendancy classes, but
You
I'll
just-
just talk
you
about
just put
two
it
of them for
back.
now. On the Blood Mage, you were previously required to spend your first points on Sangomancy, which really was supposed to be the
Wait,
downside for being able
is
to
it
access
maybe
the
the
powerful
idea
abilities on the
where
rest of
I
the
said
class.
they still have a staff, but then
In
you
order to
just-
make picking
just
the Blood
punch
Mage a better
even though you
early
have a
option,
staff.
we've made Sangomancy free, unlocking the power of the rest of the class immediately. On the Infernalist, the Demon form wasn't something people were really using because you lost your weapon stats while transformed.
Oh,
Well,
you gotta keep your
no
own
longer
stats
do,
down?
so it's a much better option now.
Nice. I like how
On
they're
the
just
Monk, the
buffing
wind
everything.
skills needed
Oh,
a big upgrade for sure.
yo, monk time.
Staggering Palm can now stack up its duration if you use the skill multiple times in a row,
Nice.
so you can keep the effect of all your skills throwing up wind much more easily.
Pow, 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 pow.
Wind Blast had the purpose of building up to dazing an enemy, but dazing just wasn't worth all that effort. Now it just dazes on hit, meaning a single Wind
Oh.
Blast will make all your skills stun enemies more easily.
Damn, easy stun. Nice.
Following up with Vaulting Impact on a dazed enemy previously did a bunch of stun. Now it allows you to break your enemy's stance. When their
Oh, you
stance is
interrupt
broken,
them?
following up with a fast attack will do way more damage. A cool build that certain people always enjoyed in PoE 1 was hand-to-hand combat. But
Yeah.
until now, we just didn't have a real way to
It
make it,
was
viable.
too. It was too weak.
Well, that
Oh,
changes
oh,
now.
hold on.
The monk, as a true martial artist, now has the
Hold on, hold
ability
on,
to
hold on,
learn
hold on. We got. This is the one thing I have to pause. Can attack as though quarterstaff using both hands, while both hands or slots are empty. Can attack as though using quarterstaff. Oh, so it still counts quarterstaff now. On an attack that could use your quarterstaff skills gain. Oh, so they made it so that even if you use your quarterstaff skills, use punching instead. Physical damage based on their skill level. 1 attack speed per invasion on equipped armor. Oh, so you want evasion and then crit chance is energy shield. Okay.
Hollow Palm technique, a keystone that lets you use all quarterstaff skills while unarmed.
Nice. Oh, so I
All
can
quarterstaff
just
attacks now have a special unarmed version, and you get further
Nice.
bonuses to all your attacks from stacking energy shield and evasion on your character.
Raging Fist. Yo. So you do Raging Fist.
A new keystone we also added to the monk section
Oh,
of the
nice.
tree is Walker of the Wilds.
Just keep punching.
This
Oh, you're
changes
kicking.
mana leech to work with elemental
Pow, pow,
damage
pow.
instead of physical, which is
Oh,
pretty
mana
useful
leech?
for all those
Oh.
elemental attacks the monk has, but it works well for the ranger too.
Mana Leech.
Now, one of the least used ascendancy classes in the game is the Acolyte of Chayula, so we knew we needed to make some changes here. One of the key things we had to do was
Raging-
make the
Raging
chaos
Monk.
damage that the Acolyte can do much more useful.
Yeah.
So we've added a new skill, allowing chaos damage to ignite, shock, chill, and freeze, embracing the
What?
elemental prowess of the monk in a truly chaotic fashion.
Oh, so you can do chaos and elements.
In addition, he can make all of his chaos damage leech. And we'll buff Into the Breach and Embrace the Darkness by moving the effects of the 4-point nodes into the base skills.
Oh, really?
He also gains a new notable, Grasp of the Void, which leaves void illusions behind you as you dodge roll. If they're killed, they do massive explosions of darkness, dealing damage to everything in sight.
Yo, it's time to go back to Alkalite.
Let's talk about Sorceress skills. One of the things we
punch
want to
everything
improve
like
in the sword is
Akuma?
the ability to use multiple elements
Raging
together
Demon?
more effectively. Now, this might seem small, but one of the things pushing you towards using a single element
It looks
is
so cool,
debuffs
you're
like
like,
elemental
ta, 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 ta.
curses, which lower resistances of a single
So now
element.
I don't have to
In order to
use.
fix that,
I don't have to use staggering bomb and
changes
stuff.
to
I can
these
just
kinds
use
of
quarter
mechanics
staff
to broaden what they apply to. So for example, there's no longer 3 curses for fire, ice, and lightning. Instead, there's just a single curse that buffs all 3
I'll
at the
type
same
it out
time.
since I said it like 4 times.
And things like Frost Bomb, which gave you cold exposure, now give elemental exposure. You can use it to buff any of your other skills. We also wanted to make switching between different weapon sets smoother.
I'm trying to
so you can
think
use
how to
different elemental
combo with
staves more
something else.
effectively. To do that, we've removed the weapon switch time, and now happens instantly. This applies game-wide too.
That's crazy.
Now we didn't
Look at
just
the
want to
whole
stop
map is
there.
covered.
We wanted to add some specific mechanics that work between different elements, and that's
thinking
where
on that.
elemental infusions come in. Certain skills can now drop elemental infusions.
Do I
For
want to use
example,
Alkalite or is
when a
I still
frost
want to
bomb
use
explodes,
Invoker?
it leaves behind a cold infusion on the ground. After
Cold
picking
sounds
it up,
cool.
you can spend it on one of any number of different
Mana
skills
leech.
to transform how they work.
Ta, 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 ta.
Spark will create a nova of cold
Attack
infused
speed based on
projectiles.
invasion. So I guess I can go invasion monk now. I don't have to go.
Ice nova will leave a chilled area
I
on
don't
the
have to
ground.
go energy shield.
And we also added a new
Just so I
low
can
level
have
skill
hella
that fires
fast attack
ice shards. Use it with cold infusion though, and the ice shards will explode. Orb of Storms now generates lightning infusions
So
when you cast
energy
enough
shield
spells
gives you
in it.
crit. So you still want
And
some.
that's all spells, by the way, not just lightning. Once you have one, you could cast
Damn,
a lightning flame.
I know I
wall,
should be
which
looking
adds
at this,
both
but I'm
fire
still
and
thinking about
lightning
the
damage to all the projectiles that pass through it. Or power up Ember Fusillade with lightning, which will generate arcs to nearby enemies as each fireball hits. Or maybe go lightning on lightning with arc. This skill is now a
Lightning.
projectile, and by infusing it, you can go full Palpatine.
I gotta look at the patch notes and I'm
Get
gonna
fire
brainstorm
infusions by
on
blowing up
more
monsters with living
true
bomb.
one.
Then use them with Comet to summon a
Right.
giant fire meteor from the sky. Or use it with Firestorm, which transforms it from a small area into a much bigger one. Firestorm is unique in that it can be infused by multiple different
Let me
elements
see
at
if
the
I can
same
find a
time.
patch notes while I was playing.
Add an ice infusion to rain down ice at the same time as the fire. And add lightning to add deadly strikes from the heavens into the mix. Or use it with all 3 to generate a storm that is truly apocalyptic. Cold Snap has been simply turned into Snap. Previously, you could use it to shatter ice, but now it works to detonate all of the different elemental ailments and makes them leave behind infusions. And just like how you could previously use it on Frostbolt, you can now also use it on Orb of Storms and Solar Orb to detonate those as well, which means you can create many
I found it.
infusions at once.
All the
You also have a
infusions.
Spirit Reservation skill and a support gem to help generate them too.
Remnants created.
On the passive tree, we've added quite a few new keystones to the Sorceress section.
Wait, where's
Here are a
the
couple of examples.
where's that
The
notable
Black Flame
passive that they
Covenant
talk
keystone
about
converts
punching?
your fire spells to chaos
Is it
and
an
causes your
unarmed
ignites to
section?
deal chaos damage. Your fire spells and ignites will also turn purple.
Purple fire. Interesting.
The Ritual Cadence keystone causes your invocation skills to trigger more times. It makes them trigger periodically over a longer duration instead of one. Great for those auto bomber builds. Now, in addition to skill changes,
okay,
we've added a
let's see.
lot more options for the passive tree for each class.
Let's see.
Overall, there are more than 100 new notables on the tree, usually around 20 per class, along with smaller clusters as well. Check out the old version, and here's the new version. It's a lot more dense, and there's more interesting nodes than before.
Ah, they put
Now,
more
we
in the
probably
middle.
can't go through too many of these in the live stream, so I'll just show you one from each class's area of the tree. We tried to be a lot more thematic with the new nodes. So for example, the Molten One's Gift. It lets the benefit of Armor Break apply to your fire damage. Or how about Last Stand, which gives you lots of stats as your situation becomes more and more desperate.
You're like surrounded.
A lot of these have themes aligning with ascendancy classes. Like for the Gemling Legionnaire, for example. You have crystallized immunities, which makes you immune to different status ailments, depending on which support gem color you have socketed the most.
Wow. Okay.
Another
Interesting.
Ascendancy class align notable is Sanguimatic Rituals. It allows arcane surges to generate life instead of mana, unlocking that support gem to be used with the Blood Mage Ascendancy.
Makes sense.
In the Sork area, you'll find these Archon nodes that allow you to convert all of your elemental damage to a specific element. You become
wow,
a Lightning
really?
Archon when you spend enough mana, after which all your skills will be converted to Lightning, and you will do extra Lightning damage as well.
So your
We have
fireball
ones for
lightning,
cold and fire too, with different triggers.
cold lightning.
Here's another cool one. Elemental Practitioner gives
Oh,
crit
here we go.
bonuses if you've
Remote.
triggered a skill recently, while also making crits generate more energy for triggers. Or maybe you'd like the Great Boar. It gives you a reason to stack dexterity to make you tougher, giving a bonus to life and stun threshold.
1 life per dex. Wait, that's pretty
Or the
good.
Cunning
If I'm
Fox.
maxing dex
It
anyways.
straight up gives you 5% quality to all your gems.
All my gems. Interesting.
Now, another major change is attribute requirements. We felt like players probably had a few too many nodes and attributes and not enough in interesting passives. So we lowered attribute requirements by 25% across the
Oh,
board.
nice. Nice.
That means you'll have more points to spend on interesting notables rather than just needing to allocate more strength, dex, and int.
Nice.
Now, there are way more
I always
changes
get
than
annoyed
just
by that.
these. These are just some of the cooler ones we wanted to show off. But I'd say that's just about enough for now. We're not even half done yet. So I think it's time that we talk about the
I
league,
want to chain
the
with
rise of the
monk
Abyssal.
punching.
And to do that, I'd like to hand things over to Mark.
Maybe.
As you just saw, even though there are major changes to the campaign for this update, we want to make sure that every time you come back for an expansion, each area feels different with something extra going on. It is really important to make sure your experience
sure.
when returning
So,
between
Jerry?
expansions is fresh and filled with new content. And the way we did this was through leagues.
The leagues, yeah.
Every expansion we make has a league,
So now
which
we're gonna talk
not
about the
only
league
has a fresh
mechanic.
economy, but also has new content exclusively available in that league. So, let's delve into the details of what Path of Exile 2's first official league is bringing to the table.
Official
The
league.
Abyssal are a race that have
Nice.
mastery of forbidden
were just
magics
talking
and
about it.
necromancy. They were thought to be extinct, but have merely been biding their time underground. You first encounter signs of the Abyssal in Clairfell, where you
Clairfell,
discover
yeah.
that during the night, weaker members of the Undead Legion have been attacking the encampment.
Oh.
The townsfolk require your help to investigate
So
where
this
the
pretty much
monsters are
Night of
coming
the
from
Living Zombies.
and put a stop to their attacks.
Out there, ancient
Just zombies just coming attacking the base at night.
the surface.
As you proceed through Rayclass,
I don't know how
you'll
far we're
find
in yet,
fissures in
but-
the earth connected to larger pits. The monsters normally inhabiting the area
It looks
are being
good so
affected
far.
by it, harmed by it even, having their souls eaten to strengthen the
It is
abyssal
big,
underground.
for sure.
As you defeat the monsters, the fissure closes and abyssal emerge, angered by you killing their food. Once all those fissures have been sealed, the pit activates, and more
Pits?
abyssal pour out.
Oh,
This
damn.
is where the larger and more dangerous monsters reveal themselves, as hordes of abyssal spew out from the pit
This is
to
the
take
first
your soul.
official league. Oh, nice.
If you
Oh, yeah, I
kill a
heard about
magic
that.
pack, then magic abyssal arise. If you kill a rare, then a rare monster will emerge from the pit, having absorbed some or all of its modifiers for itself. This means the monsters emerging will
See.
generally be more difficult and more rewarding, as each modifier gives better rewards.
We're like, any halfway through this right now?
If you are able to kill them all, the pit will seal shut. As
feel
each
like I
pit
should
is
watch that again.
closed, it reveals a potential reward. Abyssal troves will rise up out of the pits, allowing you to get some epic loot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Areas often contain many pits.
It looks
with many
cool too.
fissures,
Like you can
and
use
the
your
amount
border
goes
staff
up as you
moves
progress
as
through the
unarmed.
game, getting
So
more
I don't have to
intense.
use staggering palm and stuff over and over.
It doesn't stop there. When monster mods are absorbed, they have a chance to become infused with the dark necromancy, transforming them into abyssal modifiers. For example, you defeat this monster with the Mana Siphoner modifier. Their soul is eaten by the pit, and a rare monster emerges.
So now you
the
have to
Mana
stack.
Siphoner modifier has
You can stack
transformed into
invasion
Soul Siphoner
and
is
energy
now
shield to
amplified in
get the
danger
crit and attack speed.
reward. Abyssal pits
And now,
also
and now my
interact with
quarter
other
staff
monsters and mechanics.
damage going to my arm attack.
If you defeat a rogue exile that's near one, it'll be revived as a Lichborn that has multiple abyssal modifiers.
It's gonna be free this weekend.
Lichborn
Only this weekend
exiles
though.
even have their own unique jewel they can drop, if you are lucky enough to encounter and kill them.
I mean, not this weekend. Next weekend.
If an
they're
abyss
having a
spawns
free
near
weekend
boss,
when this new
killing
league
it will
drops.
summon a gigantic Giga Larvae creature.
Yeah, yeah.
Monsters imprisoned in essences
I
near
should take
abyssal pits
PTO
are
on the
affected by the
29.
abyss too. They will come with an additional new essence item that can be used to craft your items.
It's not officially out yet. They're still missing.
So, that's your bread and butter of the
they're still
abyssal
missing
link.
the last
Kill
what, 2 acts?
surface-dwelling monsters, kill the emerging abyssal, close the fissures, overcome
I mean, they're
pit
still missing the last
encounters,
act,
and
the
reap
next
the
2
rewards.
acts. Yeah, and they're also
There's
missing
a lot
of
more to this
classes.
league, however. As you complete abysses, you can
And
find
all the
ancient
ascendancy
pieces
classes
of bone
aren't even there yet.
preserved from the remains of fallen Lichborn. These are one of the many rewards for your mission to seal the pits. You can use this on a rare
But
item
they're
to
having a
imbue it with
league.
abyssal
But they're having a
magic,
league mechanic.
adding a special hidden
First
modifier to
official
your
league.
item. But how do you reveal it? In Act 2 of the campaign, you'll encounter a new area. This area is overrun by the Abyssal and the Lost Men. After clearing through this area, you'll find the Well of Souls, a giant
Souls.
cavity with a massive vortex of souls swirling beneath you.
Oh,
So how do you reveal the mods on your Abyssal-infused items? Obviously, just throw them in, right? Yes, that's exactly what you do.
throw in the pit.
Before
They spit
throwing
it
it
out.
in, you are given the option of how you want to transform it, in the form of a choice of 3 different modifiers. Once you've chosen your desired mod, throw it in, where it will absorb the power of the souls, and the ominous creature will then retrieve it for you. These modifiers can be ones from the core mod pool, all the way through to specialized modifiers that cannot normally appear on items. During the campaign, you can use it as a
Interesting.
way to more easily add useful existing mods, but during the endgame, there is a whole set of new and powerful mods you can add to your items. Like this mod for crossbows that allows you to place an additional ballista totem. Or
Okay.
this one that adds spirit to your staff.
Spiritual staff.
Or this one that allows you to generate more combo with your quarterstaff skills.
Combos.
And speaking of endgame, you can also use the system to craft waystones. With a preserved vertebrae fused into your waystones,
Oh,
you
you
can
can put
get
a
some
vertebrae
new
on
modifiers
items.
that push difficulty and rewards to new heights. Here are some examples of those mods.
Interesting.
You always get a choice of 3, so you can avoid anything you don't think your character is capable of.
What did all 3 suck? No reroll?
With this modifier, the natural inhabitants of the area are all spawned near abysses. And there are up to 9 additional abyssal pits in the area,
Yeah,
making
punch 'em,
it just
punch
a
'em.
full-on abyss ruckus. Or this one, which causes the final abyssal pit in the area to always result in a boss encounter,
Are they
be it
punching? Or
either
they...
one underground
Yeah, they
or
punching.
one that emerges out. There are dozens of these waystone modifiers in total you can get from this crafting.
Craft.
That covers the new crafting mechanic. So what's left? Well,
But that's just
we
the league
talked
one,
about
right?
how
Yeah.
when closing pits, you can get abyssal troves. But sometimes when closing an abyss, you'll reveal an underground cavern that leads to the abyssal depths.
Or you can jump in.
After jumping into the depths, you'll find an abyssal city, swarming with legions of the undead.
Interesting.
When underground, every single rare abyssal enemy will have an abyssal modifier. And at the end of the dungeon, you'll even find a rare with a more powerful Lichborn modifier.
Lichborn.
Once you're able to defeat this powerful rare, you can also find some nice rewards. Aside from the entire area being valuable due to the abyssal modifiers on the monsters, it has its own specific drops too.
I like sprinting.
One
That's pretty
example is a set of lineage supports that can rarely be found in these depths, like Kurgel's Leash. This support empowers both you and your minions when you command them,
Minions.
granting unholy might to you both. Another depths-specific outcome is a set of omen-like items that amplify your abyssal crafting.
Huh.
Additionally, we're adding some new socketables that can drop from the abyssal depths. Take Ulaman's Gaze, which can
Gloves.
be socketed into your armor. These are a bit
Crit
special
again-
in
is
that you can
lucky
only
against
have one
parry.
equipped at a time, but give some pretty powerful
Prevents
effects.
deflected. Oh, they can deflect
Think
you
of them
stuff.
as almost a unique socketable for your equipment. In the endgame,
Oh, really?
where you can still
Nice.
find depths, you also start to find a different type of underground
Ants,
chamber.
Like Chopper.
In these areas, you'll find an ancient spire, a device being used by commanders of the abyssal factions
Oh, these random
to
balls
plunge
coming down,
Raycast into
though.
a lightless void. Your
Yeah,
goal
punch
is
him.
simple.
Yo, you can punch
Kill
ice
this
out.
commander and destroy the spire.
Yeah, punch him, kick him, punch him, kick him.
There are 4 bosses in the
Leech.
Abyss League, and there
I
are
like
some pretty
how
cool
they're just
uniques
showing
available
monk.
from them.
Like this whole
An
thing has been a
example is
monk
this
thing
belt,
right here.
Darkness Enthroned. It has 2 sockets.
And
but
like,
hold on,
which
socketables don't work on belts. Well, this belt has a special mod that allows it to count as a different slot for the purpose of socketables.
socketables?
This one, for example, counts as a helmet. I kind of want one that counts as a body armor. I wonder how rare that one
Socket
is.
items as thought as the helmet?
You can also
Oh.
find this unique jewel, Undying Hate.
Yeah.
This jewel
I think it's because
transforms
people
part of
could
your
just
passive skill tree
probably
into an
watch it
abyssal
online
version,
too.
and has
Because of the old
multiple
movies.
depths. The deeper it goes, the more of your passive tree is affected, allowing you to fulfill your fantasy of becoming part Abyssal Lich. Now, the last thing that Abyssal commanders can drop is a Finger of the Lich.
Finger
But
village.
what use do you have with a random undead finger? Well,
Put it on stuff.
the next time you return to the Well of Souls, with the finger in your inventory, your character will almost feel compelled. To do what, though, you might ask? To jump in.
I knew it.
The items you threw in came back more powerful, right? So, what's the worst that could happen? Well, you will just have to find that one out for yourself.
Okay.
Along with the introduction of Act 4 and the interlude, we will be adding
Anniversary.
25 new in-game maps.
Yeah,
These
I don't
maps
know.
will contain all the new monsters
I
and
mean,
bosses
it just
we're
came
adding,
out, right? There's still
improving
more.
variety and giving you opportunities
Still
to
gonna be there for a
experience
while.
the new boss fights many times. Let's take a look at some examples. Rock Pools is a map where you explore a shallow rocky coastline, surrounded by coral and filled
Calabunga.
with sirens. At the end is a giant Goblin King boss,
Goblin King.
ready to eat sulfite
Ah.
and squish you like a bug.
Damn, their lips.
Holton is an Ezomite township which has seen better days. Explore and clear the township to find a gothic, Reaper-like boss, with the ability to manipulate storms and fry you with both lightning and wither you with chaos.
Chaos. Yo, boss with chaos damage too.
Given some of the new bosses added are a bit more epic, such as the Act boss and final
Damn.
bosses of each interlude part,
Oh.
it would be a bit of a waste to just use them as regular map bosses.
Yeah. They added an endgame too.
Instead, we'll be adding some new mechanics to the Atlas that use them. These start appearing pretty fast into the endgame and will help bridge the gap until you do your pinnacle bosses.
Oh, okay.
In the desert biome, you can encounter a wild sandstorm.
They added more events.
3 maps around the sandstorm contain a device you must activate.
Dude, time go by fast.
Upon doing this, the
Sometimes.
sandstorm's magic is disrupted, revealing the map inside and allowing you to access it and find the cause. This presents itself in the form of a boss, similar to the existing Citadel bosses. This
Wow,
boss
sword.
is a Faradin Swordmaster, who has been blessed with the power of a time gem, allowing him to take his swordsmanship to the next level by replicating himself, maneuvering rapidly, and
Damn.
severing the fabric
Tell-
of time itself with
You
his
do chaos
powerful
control,
slashes.
man. This guy does chaos control.
In the water biome, you'll encounter a giant maelstrom.
Yo, see
Where one of the
Leviathan?
maps surrounding the water biome connects to it, but the connection is obscured.
Can do it.
You must run the maps nearby, hoping to find a beacon, which will remove the
beacon.
maelstrom and reveal the connection to that map.
Oh.
Another
I see.
example is this Vaal vault in the mountain biome. But how do we get inside? Running the adjacent maps to it will yield a key, which you can then use to gain access to this vault. Or you
Vaal
could
vault.
just trade for one, I guess. Use the key to dispel the powerful force field surrounding it, leading to the Vaal Elite and their rewards inside.
The vault.
These all contain Uber versions of the Act 4 boss, and the bosses at the end of each part of the interlude.
Damn, all of
And
them?
each have their own exclusive drop pool of new lineage supports, which, as Jonathan spoke about earlier, are powerful support gems that modify your
gems.
skills in pretty crazy ways. As an example of a lineage support which can come from the Faradin Swordmaster mentioned earlier, we have
Bifurcates what?
Garo Khan's Resolve, which causes your critical strikes to fork, but requires some mobility on your part to properly enable. From the
Huh.
boss sealed in the Vaal Vault, we have
That may be interesting if
Baquate's
you just
Pact,
crit all the time.
which supports your war
Support?
cries, causing them to inflict massive amounts of corrupted blood at the cost of your own life. Additionally, some maps can now spawn summoning circles, a room resembling an Ezomite henge. Activating this henge will spawn bosses. It's as simple as that. We'll also be making changes to how affixes and waystones work. As the current prefixes equals good, suffixes equals bad iteration isn't quite hitting the mark. We tried something new here in Path of Exile 2, but after seeing the feedback, we decided we actually liked what we had in Path of Exile 1 more.
I never really got that far.
Like Path of Exile 1,
TO1.
each affix will now be both difficult and rewarding.
Okay, so it'll be good and bad.
Now grant an increase to the number of waystones dropped, and an additional specific upside attached to it. This means as you roll your map, they will continue to get more difficult and more rewarding, and allow you to customize the difficulty and rewards
so
of
it's
your
good
map
and bad. So you get both.
For
you get
example,
a good and bad guarantee now.
The Frostbitten mod, which causes enemies to deal cold damage, also increases the rarity of items dropped as its upside.
Yeah, so you get
Whereas the
good and down.
Venom suffix modifier, which causes enemies to poison on hit, has the upside of granting increased pack size.
Pack size, I mean. Okay.
Some maps will end up having a lot of rarity,
chance.
some a lot of pack size, and others will just have a mixture of everything. Due to now having more modifiers granting difficulty, we will of course be reducing the difficulty per modifier to account for this.
Okay.
So, that's your Atlas, maps, and waystones. But what about Breach, Ritual, Pinnacle content, and others of the sort?
Yeah.
We're making some changes around this too.
Add more random events.
The first change is that you'll now be able to invest 2 points into your specific League Atlas trees before having to run the Pinnacle content. There will be a specific objective for each type of content which grants you those points. For example, in the case of Delirium, it's simple. You just need to find and kill one of the bosses in a map, Omniphobia or Kosis.
Okay, so you have to kill one of those.
The rest of the points for each content come from the Pinnacle content, but we're making some changes to accessibility here too. Currently, access to most Pinnacle content requires the same key at the easiest and most difficult version of the content. This creates a negative feeling where at lower difficulties, instead of wanting to run the content, you're often better off just selling it to someone who can run it at maximum difficulty. To address this, each content will now drop splinters, which will not form into singular items. Instead of using the singular combined item in the realm gate, you can now just bring your splinters. Upon inserting the splinters into the realm gate, an interface will appear, allowing you to pick your difficulty, and you'll notice each difficulty has a different entry cost. This means if you want to run easier difficulties, it costs less, which also allows you to run this content much sooner into the endgame. Because these encounters now just require splinters, their corresponding Atlas tree no longer affects the difficulty of them, and has been changed to purely affect the content and maps on the Atlas. The Arbiter of Ash works a bit differently. Instead of requiring splinters, he still needs Crisis Fragments. We now have only 2 difficulties of the Arbiter. The first,
I don't think I ever
requiring
played
the
this.
existing fragments obtained
I
from
got bored
Citadels.
before I got here.
The second, Uber Arbiter, requires Calamity Fragments. These come from Citadel
but
bosses
now that I can
also,
punch, and maybe I want to play
only
more.
once you've allocated the maximum number of points in your boss Atlas
too many games
tree,
to play, dude.
ensuring those Citadels are at their highest difficulty level.
Arcfield dropped on the 30th.
Since we're talking about Pinnacle content, we also felt that the leveling curve in the late game was a bit too steep. We've smoothed this out a bit so that it's easier to get to the mid-90s. We've also added some new in-game unique items. Let's take a look at a couple. Thunderfist is a pair of gloves that grants crackling palm.
That's what you need by an arm.
Which empowers your unarmed attacks,
Yes.
granting the ability to call down the storms themselves on enemies you hit.
Yo, that's what I need.
Simply, literally every monster you hit with your unarmed skills will be struck by powerful lightning.
And your quarterstaff counts as unarmed now.
Hollow palm technique to embrace your true unarmed prowess in combat.
Yeah, Arc is dropping on the 30th.
Another unique we're adding is Henekura's Sight.
As long as you're
Equip this amulet to be granted the power of the Mother of Death herself. This is reflected by granting you a skill called Foresight. While you have Foresight, your dodge roll no longer avoids hits. But instead,
too many things dropping around that time. This dropping on the 29th.
And makes you unable to die for a brief period of time. You'll notice when this does occur, a copy of your character appears and takes the full damage. This is you seeing that future, as if you hadn't been wearing the amulet.
What?
Ultimately, your in-game experience should be more streamlined. With new content to find,
Supposedly.
you'll be able to invest in your Atlas trees sooner, engage with pinnacle content
That's
faster,
the thing
have less
going around.
FOMO running said pinnacle content, reach higher levels easier, and do all of that while finding many new chase endgame items. Talking about finding items is one thing, but what about crafting them?
Oh, they're gonna
We've
redo the
taken a
crafting.
step back and looked at some of our crafting systems to make some notable improvements. Let's start with essences, which suffered from an issue where the regular essences were effectively useless and didn't give players the tools or excitement that a crafting system should provide. To alleviate these concerns, essences are being changed in a few ways. Firstly, they're being changed to function like regals and add specific modifiers with specific values, meaning you know exactly what you're going to get. We found that players were often bottlenecked by regal orbs when crafting in the campaign, so this helps to fill that gap, allowing you to better upgrade your items. For example, this Lesser Essence of Flames, which will be able to add a flat amount of fire damage to your magic martial weapons. Secondly, we're adding many more tiers. That Lesser Essence of Flames, for example, has a regular variant
Can you craft
and a
the
greater
essence of
variant
flame
too,
into greater
adding
flames?
even more fire damage with each upgrade.
Like 10 to 1
The
or something?
intention of this is so that when you find one early on, you don't worry about holding on to it till later to use on a higher level item.
Oh, okay.
You should feel free to use them as they come to get powerful upgrades during the campaign.
Sure.
Lastly, our highest tier of essences, now called Perfect Essences, will function like a Chaos Orb instead of a Regal. So it will replace one of the modifiers on your rare items with the specified mod. Such as this Perfect Essence of Flames. You'll notice this one doesn't just add flat fire damage like the ones before it. The Perfect Essences often give something a bit different, with some opportunities to be pretty damn powerful. There are many different essences, each with many tiers, covering many of the more core modifiers you'd want on items early on, through to chase specialized ones for in-game. Speaking of in-game, we really wanted to expand our crafting options for late in-game crafting projects. You might have noticed that at in-game, you get way too many transmutes. Wouldn't it be nice if some of those didn't drop, but instead you got something a little more powerful?
Or auto pickup.
At higher levels, you can now find Greater Orb of Transmutation and Perfect Orb of Transmutation.
So
These can be used on normal
chance?
items to upgrade them to magic, ensuring that the modifier generated is of a minimum level. This is similar to how you find higher tier items on the ground, but for crafting. These higher tiers will also exist for Orb of Augmentation, Regal Orb, Exalted Orb, and Chaos Orb, meaning you can get all of the orbs required to take your item from normal rarity to a fully completed rare with guaranteed high tier mods.
Guaranteed high tier, man.
On top of these new core crafting currencies, we wanted to make sure there are powerful crafting bases to use them on. Now in endgame, you can start to find exceptional items. These are items that drop at normal rarity and are perfect for your from-scratch crafting projects. They can come with extra quality, up to 30%, or an additional socket to use your crafting socketables in. And yes, they can be corrupted for yet another socket. You can also get exceptional unique items.
Oh, look at that one, lightning.
To add even further to your crafting arsenal, we've added a whole suite of new omens to ritual content, and removed some of the more unimpactful ones that weren't being used. Some of the new omens include the Omen of the Ancients, which will cause your next Orb of Chance to not destroy the item.
Oh, is there a bot in the thing that we need to ban?
Or the Omen of Sanctification, which is my new favorite. This will cause your next Divine Orb used on a rare item to reroll the values of its modifiers, allowing it to exceed the normal minimum and maximum values, raising the ceiling on the new most powerful rare items in the game. This omen will also cause your item to become sanctified.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Sanctified items cannot be crafted, just like corrupted ones, so consider carefully when you use this.
I'll deal with it after this.
Another is the Omen of Chaotic Monsters, which will cause your next Chaos Orb to reroll all modifiers on a Waystone, allowing you to fix your maps if you get some modifiers that are not feasible for your build. Besides these examples,
Gotta type
there
out
is a
name.
huge variety of new omens for you to discover in your ritual
worries.
encounters. With the release of Act 4, notably taking place in the Karori Archipelago, you'll be able to now find a new currency item, Henikora's
Currency item?
Lock. Henikora, the Karori goddess of death, has the power of foresight and is able to see many futures, including the outcome of your next craft.
Huh?
So, imbuing her lock onto an item gives you that same power too.
You can see
For
what it's gonna
example,
be.
You'll know whether or not to use an Exalted Orb on your item, as you will know exactly what the outcome is.
Wow.
So,
You can predict.
with all
You're
these
like,
new
I don't
crafting
wanna use it.
improvements, it's safe to say you're going to be making some epic items, and not necessarily just ones for yourself. So given that, it's time to talk about a massive one.
Trade. Adding trade.
It's finally here. The moment we've all been waiting for. Fully asynchronous trade. Over the years, the way players trade with each other in Path of Exile 1 has morphed from using the forums, through to the in-game chat, all the way
Yeah.
through to using the website.
Jeez,
These
that's
systems,
ridiculous, right?
in all their iterations, work for a while, but with each iteration, new problems eventually reveal themselves.
I gotta find her
Be
name
it
in the list.
requiring you to be in your hideout too much instead of out there killing monsters, or never getting responses from people who are either AFK or just can't be bothered. In order to finally solve this, and this has been a long time coming, we're adding a new system that allows you to buy items from other players without requiring the seller to be present. They can
Nice.
continue farming,
So you
killing
can
monsters,
put it up
AFK
in the
as they
shop and then
please,
just buy it.
and can even be offline.
I feel like I mostly do solo
With the
Southbound,
introduction
though,
of
to be
King's
honest.
March in Act 4, you will encounter Ange, assistant to Rog in the Meridian Free Traders Company. Over the last 2 decades or so, since Path of Exile 1's storyline, Faustus has handed down his knowledge and expertise to Ange, and she is now ready to take over his business. If you have a hideout unlocked already, you can immediately invite her there. If you don't have a hideout yet, you will need to acquire one. You can do this by completing a quest to defeat one of the bosses inhabiting an island in Act 4, allowing you then to take a slice of it for yourself, making it your new home and base of operations.
Oh, you're gonna get unlocked at the hideout.
Once invited to your hideout, she will now serve as operating your currency exchange, but also serve as the figurehead in your new trading empire.
Manisha.
So, how does this new system work? In the existing trade system, you would list items
Negotiable?
for sale in premium stash tabs. And then when someone wanted
premium?
one, you'd have to take it out for yourself and trade it to them. Now, instead of using those, you can give your items to Ange so she can sell them for you. Each item must have a price set.
Alright.
The prices are
Thanks for
set
letting me
using
know.
in-game currency
Good night.
items, such as Exalted Orbs or Chaos Orbs. Once a price is set, other players will be able to find the item by searching for it on the trade website.
Secure.
Once a desired item has been found, you can hit a
Teleporting?
button, which will instantly teleport your character in-game to their hideout. Then, you can immediately purchase the item. And while there, if you want, browse their
Together.
other goods, in
Damn,
case there's a
okay.
good deal someone else hasn't yet discovered. You'll notice that as a buyer, on top of the currency the seller set for the price, it also costs gold to purchase an item, as Ange has bills to pay after all. As a seller, you'll immediately receive a notification when an item of yours is sold, and
Interesting.
can also see an effect above Ange in your hideout when she has unclaimed currency. Just go talk to her, claim your currency, and continue playing at your leisure.
Remove only.
As many people already acquired premium stash tabs for the purpose of the trade system, we wanted to add a way for you to convert your existing tabs to merchants tabs. If you want.
Merchant tabs.
You can do that here, on the website, but only if you purchase those tabs before the release of the Third Edict.
Before.
To clarify, the existing trade system will remain fully intact, so your premium stash tabs will not lose any of their functionality. We just figured people might want to switch over to this new system. We expect a lot of feedback around this new system and are looking
Trade,
forward
huh?
to trying it out with you. As we are not able to test internally with an entire, thriving economy, there will certainly be some kinks to work out. Based on how the system goes, we will be adding it to Path of Exile 1 when ready, so any of the tabs you purchase will also be usable there later. Next up, we're going to be talking about our new supporter packs. Today, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs, the Justice and Trathan Executioner packs. Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way.
I got him.
The Justice series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. Claim glory after defeating enemies, or inspire your allies by calling down the Banner of Justice portal.
Banner of
The
Justice.
Sphinx Mystic hideout decoration will identify items for you, displaying them as it does so. This ancient creature has been presented with many items over the
creepily
eons,
cool for
so
some
has
reason.
some strong expressions to make on the quality of your wares. Become a true warrior, worthy of delivering the justice of the eternal gods with the Apostle of Justice armor set. This armor set also comes with a matching back attachment containing a set of scales to measure your worth.
Scales.
With the Apostle of Justice finisher effect equipped, the Goddess of Justice herself will appear to decide on a verdict for slain unique enemies.
What the hell?
Witness as
Okay.
she decides the fate of your slain foes. Will they ascend to be amongst the gods or be banished to the underworld?
Boom.
The Griffin fledgling pet will be your
Oh.
courageous companion as you journey throughout Rayclast.
Nice. It's a pet that follows you.
Take your place in the skies in the Plateau of the Gods hideout.
Wow.
This hideout comes
That's
with many
fancy.
different sections for setting up your home
That
or
is
base of operations.
Fancy.
In order to travel between them, you simply just need to walk off the edge. Like a true eternal god, you can float between
Yeah.
the mountains on the clouds themselves.
Walk on clouds, guys.
The Trathan Executioner pack series also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Trathan Executioner finisher effect is a brutal display of Trathan might, crushing slain unique enemies as if they were bugs beneath your heel. As a Trathan Executioner, you're the perfect master for the ever-hungry carrion raptor pet. It has taken a particular liking to the taste of other pets, and at your command it
Well.
will swoop down and eviscerate them, proceeding to satisfy its hunger by feeding
What?
on their corpse. The nobles of the 4 major Trathan
okay.
houses had their
other
mercenaries,
pets?
but if their hired hands became notably irritating, they'd have to call in the Trathan Executioners. You can now embrace their methods and become brutality incarnate with the Cruel Trathan Executioner armor set. The matching
alright.
Cruel Trathan Executioner cloak
Leaking
will shroud
blood.
you in scarlet as you crush the skulls of your enemies and leave a trail of blood behind you as you build up a kill streak. Or use the alternate variant to simply put a skeleton on your back. Be bathed in blood as you mutilate
like a
monsters
Dragon
with
Ball
the
Z or
Cruel
Sun
Trathan
Wukong
Executioner
skin.
character effect. The swirling blood increases in volume
Super
as your
Saiyan.
spree of slaughter continues. Both this effect and the cloak use the same kill streak for tracking how much blood is shown. After
And
a
the more
long
you kill,
and
the more it
tiring
gets
day of
brighter and brighter.
executions, enjoy a relaxing game of dice with the Goblin
Dice.
Gambler's hideout decoration. They'll definitely be playing fair, right?
Oh, you can
The
gamble.
Pulverizer map device brings a horrid efficiency to punishing the damned of Trathis. Each map you open will execute the next victims.
Wow.
This
Gruesome,
map
man.
device in its true ruthlessness tracks the total number of monsters killed, your kills per second, and your largest kill streak up to the
Damn,
point
you-
of the
you
map
get-
being completed.
Do you get DPS?
This
Do you
is
get
then
DPS
displayed
counter?
on a leaderboard so you can take a measure of you and your friends' violence at the end of each map. Additionally, any microtransactions from the supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 1.
Interesting. Oh, it just ends like that? Wow, okay. Okay, we gotta look at the patch notes. Here, look at the patch notes. So we have new content stuff. Add an Act 4, right? We have Act 4 now. And then they have inter mini ludes from After 4. Non-linear. It's completely non-linear. You can visit the islands in any order you choose. Oh, okay. Interludes. Yeah. Rise of the Abyssal League. So that's the one we just looked at, right? Create a forbidden nomadic magic. I think I just want to go to the monk changes. But we can look at these. In your safe travel, you encounter visions on the ground, sapping life force. Can I make this smaller so I can read more? Close the abyss, you get immune items with abyssal, and then you can like throw them in and stuff. There's standard, hardcore, and solo self-found variations. Okay. Support gem overhaul. One of the major issues is the limitation of having one support gem of each type on your character. Yeah, they're removing that. Yeah. Adding new support gems. When I just formulate. Wait, what's this? Can no longer be engraved into gem cutting. Okay, I'm just skimming through this. We don't need to read everything in here. Muster support, having a skill with a socketed gem, you don't need to attribute requirements for now. Disables just for those support instead of disable entire skill. Oh, it's disabled the support, so if you don't match it, it doesn't just remove it from you. Rename Entombment. Okay. New strength skill gem. Strength skill gem, dexterity, toxic domain. I think they went over some of these in the thing, right? Mortar cannon, yeah. Persistent gem, mirage archer. Swarms of insects. Siphon elements, while active, has a chance to create an infusion remnant. Grim feats are included, rework, and re-enabled. Instead of granting energy, it allows you to collect remnants from your dead reviving minions, then activate skill to instantly revive all minions. Oh, now it just revives your minions. Okay, now new Keystone passive, Northwest, Hollow Palm technique. Oh, so it's in the Northwest area? Damn, it's not near the unarmed area. It's like more north. Unless they moved it around. Now you to use quarterstaff attacks while unarmed. Grant those attack additional benefits when using unarmed. And then your attack quarterstaff actually applies to your unarmed, right? Is that what it was? I don't remember. I have to look at the thing again. Hold on. Where is it? Unarmed. Support gem, skill changes. Is it under skill changes?
Monsters due to a new glory or other shield skills. We wanted to upgrade the war. You'll find changes like this from frag rounds now upgrade to them. Them too. It gives you a new ability.
Where was it?
Didn't have a real way to make it viable.
Here we go.
Well, that
can attack though using a quarterstaff using both hand slots while both your hand slots are empty. Yeah, okay. Oh, never mind. You just don't wear anything anyways. But your unarmed attack can use quarterstaff damage gain. Yeah, okay. Physical damage based on their skill level. So you can technically anything that has quarterstaff stuff in the nodes, you get bonus. It's gonna be unarmed. You just don't get a weapon. It only works when both your hand slots are empty. Can't even use a shield. Ritual Cadence. Black Covenant. Okay. Endgame changes. So they didn't specify exactly like the uniqueness stuff. Pretty much what it said in the video. Yeah. Okay, slaying a map box and area has at least 6 modifiers. Okay. I think the rest of it I'll just have to just find out as I play, to be honest. There's too much to read. We're just gonna have to play it as we go. Like we have sprinting now and stuff like that, which is great. Blocking no longer limited to strikes and projectiles. Actually, no. We should go look at monk stuff. Where is it? Pathfinder, Deadeye, Evoker. Oh, they changed Evoker too. Elemental skill granted by scattered them through the winds. It now deals with the fire damage, explosions. I don't remember what this is. Meditate skill granted by fate is a choice notable now has a cooldown of 7 to 1.5 seconds. Gem levels. Meditate now provide more energy shield recharge. Okay. Okay, they're changing a lot here. Naming Sap of Nightmares no longer grants chance to gain percentage of damage with hits as extra chaos. Instead, it grants leech recover based on chaos damage. Okay, so it's not extra chaos, but now you get mana leech based on your chaos damage. Lucid Dream no longer provides any benefits itself. Instead, now being a multi-choice notable with following choices: choice of life, all flame of Chula you manifest are red, are blue, or are purple. So you can choose now which one you want. Okay. Into the Breach, granted by Waking Dream, now grants Remnant spawn by supported skills have increased effect. No longer enables Embrace of Darkness. It no longer provides 1% chaos damage per Preserve Darkness. Instead, grants new skill Void Illusion, which is the illusion that blows up, right? Now has Darkness Resolution lasts for 5 seconds instead of 10. So they nerfed the time it lasts. Is that nerf? I don't know. I don't use this darkness thing. Has renamed to the Deepening Shadow. No longer grants 50% reduced duration. Instead, it grants 1% maximum per chaos resistance. So if you want more chaos, you can get into this. No longer grants mana leech recover based on damage type, such as physical. Instead, it grants 1 fatality on inflicting elemental ailment and take no damage for. I don't know what that means. No longer grants you cannot recharge energy shield and mana leech recover energy. Instead, it grants chaos damage from hits. Also contribute to ignite chance. Piece filled up. Oh, okay. So you can, when you do chaos, you can have a chance to just put all the debuffs on it. Alright. I only play monk, so I don't really look at the other ones as much. But yeah, I will look at their skills when I start playing. They added 17 new clusters to the monk passage tree. And I gotta look at the ranger one and the witch one too. Skill changes. Curse skills, blink. Spectra, mark. Mark no longer spells. Okay. Killing palm, staggering palm, hand chula. Now damage based on your equipped quarterstaff. Oh. Yo, you can actually do these based on your staff thing now. Palm skill can no longer be used without a quarterstaff equipped by default. Can no longer be used. Can no longer be used without a quarterstaff. Wait, so can I not use palm skills when I'm unarmed? What if you're unarmed? I'm assuming palm skills can no longer be used without a quarterstaff. It's can no longer be without a quarterstaff? Oh, by default. Okay. So you can use palm skills without a quarterstaff. Right? Is this what I'm trying? Palm skill can no longer be used without a quarterstaff. Equipped by default. Can no longer be used without a quarterstaff. Equipped by default. Huh. They make it sound like I need a quarterstaff to use palm skills. But then... Unarmed attacks that will use quarterstaff skill damage, gain physical damage. I don't know. I have to play around with it. We'll see. I feel like you can still do it, unarmed or a quarterstaff. I feel like I'm reading it wrong. They need to reword it a little bit. I'm looking at skills that may be acquired to me. Fireball, Firestone, Firewall. Oh damn, they changed a lot of stuff here. Bolt Impact and now 1 meteor from... Oh, they nerfed that. Killing Palm now grants 1 power charge when calling a magic or normal. 2 when rare. Oh, they buffed it, so if it's like a higher one, you get more charges. Bomb. And a drain. These are alphabetical order, right? It looks like alphabetical order, so Shockwave Totem. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go as I play. It seems too much to just like take it all at once. Quality now provides 0.3 per hit while the belt active instead of belt destroy after number of 1 or 2 hits. Quality now do 100 more damage. Okay. Interesting. Bolting impact now you jump over enemies in small amount of terrain. Fortunately, the number of changes to camera movement has been changed and now it deals that damage. So they buff the damage, now escalates dazed. Warning slash wave of frost. Now freeze enemy that are primed to freeze. Now dazed. Okay, they kind of went over a little bit on that. Oh my god, with all this. Yeah, okay. Oh my god. I'm not even like done. Just like it's like right here. There's more to do. Item changes, monster changes. There's no scaling above 65. Microtransaction. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the reaction, I guess. But what are people saying? Chicken better than steak? First the worst. Wait, what? Oh. All right.